Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Saturday, September 13, 2025. And I'm going to discuss the octopus, known as organized persecution, vigilantism, community policing, like they know that they're cops, right? Citizens on patrol, you know, the COPS, the criminals on patrol, organized bullying, mobbing, gangstalking. Okay, we're going to discuss that. I also have been looking through my folder and see a testimony from a Dr. Leibowitz. And I remember when I came into the targeting community, where is it? Where did it go? When I came into the community, he had provided some information. It was presented to the Senate hearing on the state of civil and human rights in the United States. It was 2014. So I'm going to switch back and forth. I may create this in two separate videos because I have other things to do right now. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. So the first thing we're going to discuss is gang stalking. Organized persecution. What is gang stalking? Mobbing, organized bullying. It is a well-coordinated, sustained attack upon an individual or a couple, the target or targets. A variety of methods are utilized to intimidate, isolate, harass, and provoke the target into incriminating acts that will be recorded and used against them. The goal is to discredit, demoralize, and utterly devastate all quality of life. This is happening in our neighborhoods now. And you know, when your sorry-ass neighbors have nothing on you, they have to create stuff because they're losing hope after 6 years. You know, after 6 years, they're losing hope of setting me up for something because I've caught them doing all the unthinkable things that they're claiming that I have done. These gang stalkers, these sorry-ass losers, these mobbers, these psychopaths will stop at nothing because they're being paid. It's a game for them. And talk about the smear campaign. The smear campaign is the primary technique used to blacken a target's reputation and ultimately ruin their life. And make no mistake, here in Jackson County, Kentucky, every one of my neighbors has whispered, there's a whisper campaign, has slandered me, including the local government. Yeah. It's a proven effective method to spread vile accusations within a community via the spoken word. The purpose is to turn neighbors against this horrible person, you know, the one that they don't know, and some of which I've never met before. Some of these people I've never met. I don't even know them by name. Against this horrible person, disgrace them, destabilize them, and ultimately destroy them. Somebody that they don't even know, because these people are morons. Typical accusations are, oh, you're a bigot, a racist, abusive, drug dealer, thief, stalker, terrorist, prostitute, pedophile, sexual predator, and subversive. Well, it sounds like every one of my neighbors. Sounds like every one of them and more. You know, remember, we've got the cops, lops, mops, pops, wops, and sops. Oh, yeah, no, we added the dops, you know, the dog walkers, the dogs. We got the new dops, too. So these, an undesirable of some sort. Yes, every one of my neighbors is undesirable. But, you know, they have to project it onto the person that they don't like because they're getting paid. They're paid to spread this, they're recruited because these people love to gossip. They have nothing else to do in their lives than to gossip, and the uglier, the better. These people cannot create for themselves, so they have to steal from other people and drive around early in the morning while I'm raking leaves. And I saw this big blob of a woman in a car stalking me. And I'm thinking, and I'm sorry for all you people out there that need to lose weight. Well, these women around here, that woman that stalked me this morning, I'm thinking if she would just get out of her damn vehicle, stop stalking me, and come help me rake some leaves, maybe you'll lose a couple of pounds, because you need to lose about 60. An undesirable of some sort. This is an effective means of recruitment because people love to gossip, and the uglier the better. This alone will often convince people that they're performing their civic duty by helping bring down that creep labeled with any of the above. Persuading neighbors to follow and harass someone often involves bribes and intimidation. Remember, they are the gift card whores. Make no mistake, they are the gift card whores. I know where I get my money from. Speaking of my neighbor who's recorded harassing me, posting no trespassing signs on my property, yelling at me like, I don't know where you get your money from, but we work hard for our money. Yeah, honey, I know where you get your money from. Yeah, we know. You gave it away. They persuade neighbors to harass somebody. They bribe them, harass them, intimidate them as well, and they give them money under the table that they don't declare. They don't even declare that income. They don't pay taxes on it. There is something seriously wrong with all of these people because well-adjusted individuals do not derive pleasure from hurting their fellow citizens in this way. Those at the top, directing the campaign, are insulated by multiple layers of dimwit, lower-level operatives and unlikely to ever be held accountable. Maybe not in this lifetime, but they will. They will be held accountable and they will rot in the pit of hell. These scheming individuals are masters of manipulation. They prey upon the lower impulses. They prey on fear, personal prejudice of the neighbors. They prey on the neighbors to get them to carry out their underhanded dirty work. They fabricate stories and lies, and it changes according to who's being recruited at the time. So they'll tell one neighbor one thing, another neighbor another thing, because they have surveilled your neighbors too. They know which one of your neighbors is prejudiced or a bigot or jealous. They know all of those character traits of your neighbors, so they will concoct a lie about you or me specific to that particular group of people or individual, because they want to get them to do their dirty work for them while they sit back and collect their 6-figure salaries. Anyone the target comes into contact with receives a warning about the target. It's a warning. Oh, yes. Could you imagine what the warnings are? Perhaps we should have a contest, guys. We're all creative individuals. Let's draft the warnings that are given to our neighbors about us. Warning, danger, Will Robinson. There's a 67-year-old woman gardening and she likes cats. Oh, and she feeds a fox. Wow, she's a danger to society in the neighborhood. Yes. Oh, and the warning usually includes some disinformation manufactured, like altered evidence that the target is, quote unquote, under investigation. Yeah, well, I've been under investigation for more than 12 years now. More than 12 years. I'm still under investigation. They're trying to gather all my deep, dark secrets, all my intellectual property. Yeah. All of my thoughts, my creativity, my ideas, things that I've created, things that I've developed. That's why you're under investigation. They're stealing your louche. They're stealing from you. Because, again, they can't create for themselves. So they have to steal everything from everything that you are. Because they're losers. Remember, these losers, they're not going to stalk another loser. That would make them a double loser. They're only going to stalk the winners. Okay? So this favor tactic of theirs is designed to make all the interactions uncomfortable and poison the entire community against the target. Finding and keeping a job in this environment is undermined. I'm going to add selling a house is undermined. I listed my house for sale a couple of years ago, and my agent was inundated with phone calls from local losers saying, "Oh, I was promised that property. Oh, you can't sell that property. Blah, 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 blah." Oh, you don't think I don't know. Yeah, that was Cassie Foley, Century 21. Come at me, Cassie Foley. I'll come at you for not selling my house or even sending out the announcements. No announcements were set out. You never contacted me during the listing. Didn't even tell me when the listing was ending. No contact at all. Good job, Cassie Foley. Great job selling my property. This continues for years. Yeah, well, it's more than 12 years. Because there's no shortage of misguided groundlings willing to do nearly anything for money or other favors. Oh, could you imagine the other favors that your neighbors, especially the women neighbors, the other favors they're giving? You know what I heard? I heard one of my neighbors was doing it with a pastor, minister. Yeah, isn't that amazing? The women around here, I wonder what else they're doing. Money and other favors. Leave a comment down below. What other favors are they doing? However, getting involved means dipping your toe into a foul, dark pool of energy, and getting out of the gang is not easy as it was to join. And that's pretty much the way it is across the board. So these community stalkers, once they join in, it's not easy to get out. Once you join Freemasonry or Scientology, you've heard all the things that they do, or even the Amish. They shun you if you want to leave the Amish. Yeah. So, and these handlers, they now own you. And if you're on the payroll, you are at their mercy. That's what happens when you go along to get along, when you're a black sheep and you get paid under the table and you're not paying taxes on that money, that extra money. Wouldn't the IRS like to know about that? But yeah, from what I understand, they're all in on it too. It's this huge octopus, right? InfraGard, the FBI, the NSA, CIA. But once you're on the watch list, see, you can blame the FBI, my favorite Bureau of Investigation, because they are at the top of the rung. Because they're the ones that have maintained the watch list. They're the ones that allow people to nominate you. So at the top of the chain, I don't care what anybody says, they are responsible for the watch list and not allowing due process. The top of the list. Yeah, them. So now some of these tactics, there's entrapment, home invasion, wiretaps, computer hacking, bugging, spoofing your mail, your email, placing a GPS on your car, blacklisting, crowding, mobbing, workplace undermining, framing, honey traps. They can't do that around here. There ain't no honey traps around here. No hot guys around here. Zero. That's why they drop cats instead. 24/7 surveillance, slander, mail tampering, verbal insults, gaslighting, poisoning, pets, vandalism, etc. Parents will even use their children. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Oh yes. They use their children, like they've got their kids driving by and sticking their middle finger up at me. Or how about that video that I posted about those two teenagers driving by with their little, what do you call those, the little four-wheelers, screaming at me? F you, F you, F you. I don't even know who these kids are. F you, F you, with their fingers up. Did it back and forth 5 times. Yes, you can witness those videos, I guess, from a week or 2 weeks ago on my channel. Those kids belong to someone around here. Oh yeah, parents, teach your children well. And you know what? Imagine how those kids are going to treat their piece of shit parents when they're older. God help you guys. Those involved are obedient, sadistic godless, and draw courage from their group. They literally gang up on their victim. This person says, I'm conspicuously followed wherever I go, confronted, occasionally threatened. This is the most blatant form of harassment, along with slander, multiple home car invasions, vandalism, mail tampering, and hacked phone and PC. Like, some of this stuff is so obvious. How could anybody say that it's not happening? It's so easily provable. The gang-stalking subculture is a network of civilian, criminal, and corrupt members or former members of the, wait for it guys, the security industry. Yeah, the security industry. This immoral subculture provides an umbrella of protection where members can safely express their wicked impulses. And remember what Kay Griggs said about these criminals, you know. She said the military guys, she said they're immature, they hate women, they're perverted, they like to play pranks on people, and most of them are bisexual or little gay boys. But they pretend that they're not. See, that's the thing, like, who cares if you're gay? But when you pretend that you're not, that's the problem. Like, they're getting married to a woman when you're not into women. The real reason for silence is because these are not officially sanctioned campaigns that can withstand public scrutiny. They're illegal. The structure of the network resembles a pyramid, and only the people in charge at the top know why someone is targeted. The street level trackers at the bottom, they just believe what they're told, and they're warned to keep quiet for sake of the investigation. Because if they really knew the truth, they wouldn't get involved. Well, some of them would get involved because they're losers. They want the money. They thrive on harassing people. You should see the expressions on the faces of the people that drive by. I mean, they are angry, sinister, smirky. Oh my goodness, it's like, I don't know these people from a hole in the wall. And after 6 years, I have no interest in knowing my neighbors. I have nothing in common with them. Zero. Secrecy is also necessary because the local citizens on patrol, they have morphed into a cult-like group. They torment individuals who someone in power considers worthy of punishment. I'm sorry, guys. I grew up with parents, and I was a pretty good kid growing up. I think the only time I got punished once was I got cut out of school. I just didn't feel like going that day. I didn't miss anything, so like, why go? So yeah, when my mother got wind of it during, parent-teacher conference, she wasn't happy. But I still got straight A's, makes no difference. So yeah, but these people think that you're worthy of some kind of punishment. You know why? Because you're not like them. You're better than they are. You're more attractive than they are. You're more creative. You're more intelligent. And most of these loser men and women, they cannot compete with any targeted person at all, on any level. Even when they sick their loser attorneys on you, they don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know the definition. Like that judge at the court, he didn't even understand my English. I had to explain my vocabulary. That would never happen in New Jersey. The judges in New Jersey are brilliant. Like, you actually need an encyclopedia when you go to court in New Jersey. Here, you only need somebody to translate what the hell they're saying, because you can't understand a word they're saying because their accents and, oil is Earl. You can't understand a word they're saying. And, of course, if you're speaking English, they have no idea what you're saying. So, yeah. So, it's unbelievable what happens here. Yeah. So, even the legal system here is moronic. So the real reason for the silence is because these are not officially sanctioned campaigns. They cannot withstand public scrutiny, which is why you're gaslit in all the social media platforms. This is why they want to cyberstalk you and shut you down. Because if the general public really knew the truth of everything that was happening, there would be an uprising. But this octopus have tentacles everywhere. The sheriff's department, InfraGard, the police department, all the intel agencies, corporations, and the feral cat cartel. Look at what they did to Save a Fox, Michaela Raines. She was bringing in way too much money. She was too gorgeous. She loved what she did. She loved her animals. So those animals loved her. She had people around the world mourn her loss. And I will attest to the fact that some of the most evil people on the planet are the heads of national animal rescue groups. And they're not rescuing animals, by the way. They're only stealing your money. They're only stealing your money to buy real estate, pay their lawyers, sue people, and gang stalk others with your tax dollars. Yeah, they're not rescuing any animals. No. Not rescuing animals. So, yes, on that list, corporations. Oh, we can't leave out Big Pharma. And we definitely can't leave out the psychiatrists. Look at what they've done to Jessica L. Thomaston, PhD, held against her will in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There's nothing wrong with Jessica. It's just wrong with the system. They're asset stripping her. Pretty much basically what they're doing to Jessica is what they did to the mathematical genius John Forbes Nash, the Princeton professor, Princeton, New Jersey. He won a Nobel Prize, etc. He invented game theory. And after that, and he was in his 20s, by the way. After that, he was being gang stalked. Yes, he was. He witnessed men following him around in suits with red ties. And all you targeted people out there know about that red stuff, with the red shoes. Well, you know what the Red Shoe Club is, right? I can't say it on YouTube. The Red Shoe Club, they like underaged little people. The Red Shoe Club. And then, of course, you got the red pickup trucks around here. Shiny new. I know where they're getting their money from. But John Forbes Nash was being stalked by men in suits. The government, obviously, wearing a red tie. They were sensitizing him to red ties. And then when he mentioned it, guess what they did? They stuck him in a loony bin. Yes, and they gave him ECT shock therapy for 2 years. It's a good thing he came out still with his senses and his sense of humor. Yeah, he pretty much said, you know what? It's probably a good idea to just stick with math and not even get involved with any kind of government conspiracies. Because you might end up in one of those places, given a chemical lobotomy. So now there's this phony investigation. It's a smokescreen that provides a cover for an illicit program that circumvents due process and panders to the mob mentality. The handlers siphon money earmarked for combating domestic T, the TERR. They're stealing money that it was supposed to be used, but instead it is subsidizing their own personal projects, which is a vendetta, revenge for hire, somebody's envious and jealous of you, right? You piss off a narcissist, you just piss somebody. How many people have you pissed off in your lifetime? Well, let's turn it around. How many people have pissed me off in my lifetime? And I've lived longer than a lot of you guys. If I were to make a list of how many people have pissed me off, I'd be writing for at least a week. I'd get nothing done. But would I place somebody in a revenge for hire program? No, I want them gone. I want them to just disappear, go away. So now historically, this smothering form of organized persecution originated with the East German Stasi post-World War II. This massive program was very effective in turning neighbor against neighbor and crushing those who dared to resist the fascist government. Those in charge they discovered that they could divide and subjugate the populace in a way that was virtually impossible to confront and resist. J. Edgar Hoover implemented the program in the USA and has expanded tremendously under the Patriot Act. The only requirement to be put on a list is a corrupt official or a well-connected civilian. And in these days, I don't know, guys. Could you leave a comment down below. What percentage of the officials, the public officials, would you say are corrupt? We can start with the FBI if you want. Maybe we should just interview some of the ones that have defected. You know, those suspensibles, the guys that left, the whistleblowers. And there are more, by the way. There are a couple more. Oh, good. Oh, how about Edward Snowden? My goodness, he's my hero. The only requirement is to be put on a list by a corrupt official or a well-connected civilian. There could be any number of reasons. Perhaps the target crossed the wrong person. Know too much. Personal political vengeance. Oh, if you're too outspoken, you're too influential, you're a whistleblower, you had a messy divorce, a check mark, a bad breakup. Have you ever had a bad breakup, guys? Come on. Messy divorce, whistleblower, raise your hand. I'm not into politics. I hate politics. Too outspoken? Never. Not me. No. Influential? No, I'm not influential. Whistleblower? No, I'm not a whistleblower. But yeah, I have no problem speaking my mind ever since I'm a child. If you see something, say something. Maybe we all invented it and they just stole the idea from us. Regardless, organized harassment is evil, and it's a civil rights violation. It's also a terrible waste of resources that could be directed toward apprehending real criminals. Or how about feeding the homeless? How about housing the homeless? How about all the divorced women out there who has deadbeat dads like I did? How about supporting them? How about devising a database for all the deadbeat dads and list how much money they owe and for how long? You know, sort of like the list, the pedo list in the sheriff's department. We need to have one for deadbeat dads. And I will volunteer my information since it's been going on for so long. I'll volunteer. So anyway, the smear merchants are in the business of destroying people's lives, and the clueless street-level trackers are expendable pawns. What can you do? Do not participate. Don't be deceived by these scurrilous liars. Don't cooperate with them. You cannot be forced to join, and it's dangerous to do so because they will turn on you for any number of reasons. They will turn on you. Legitimate investigations are not witch hunts. Character assassination only works with gullible, fearful, or devious people that go along and spread the lies. You can't trust these scoundrels on any level. And getting involved is bad karma that will taint your life with disfavor and darkness. The psychopaths responsible for these despicable campaigns flood the internet with fake, crazy-sounding articles, testimony, and YouTube videos designed to give the impression that none of this is real and to discredit genuine victims. Unless you or someone you know becomes a target, it's very easy to dismiss any of this as real, but it is. Now, this was taken from Lessons from the Stasi, a cautionary tale on a mass surveillance, fight gangstalking, and how widespread is gangstalking. So it is an octopus. And this beautiful mini art was designed by Richarde on eBay. This is the first time I'm purchasing mini arts from this artist, and I thought this was unique, and it clearly depicts what all targeted people, all victims of gangstalking, harassment, community watch groups, your local government, the slander campaign, what you're experiencing. It is an octopus with tentacles everywhere. And, you know, if I were to recreate one of these, we could actually label. We could actually label them like neighbors, FBI, fusion center operatives, infraguard, retired military, inhumane team, losers, you know. Oh, and also like the cops, the lops, the mops, the dops, the wops, you know, criminals on patrol, losers on patrol, pedos, predators on patrol. Now we've got the dogs on patrol, doggies on patrol, dogs, stalkers on patrol, witches on patrol, and can't leave out the mops, the morons on patrol, because you have to be a moron to get involved in tormenting another person for profit. There is definitely something seriously wrong with people that get off on doing this stuff. Because normal people, healthy people, do not derive pleasure from hurting their fellow citizens in this way. And remember, those at the top directing the campaign, they're insulated by multiple layers, tentacles, of dimwit lower-level operatives and unlikely to ever be held accountable. Because those scheming individuals, they're the masters of manipulation, who prey upon the lower impulses, fear, and personal prejudice of neighbors. They get away with it. And I know a woman just like that. I know two women just like that. Yeah, one is head of a national feral cat organization. Just like that. And I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe that she's also one of those Eastern Star Witches. Yeah. They don't rescue cats at all. They're just stealing your money. But on that note, because I've already said enough, this is organized persecution, vigilantism, community policing, citizens on patrol, organized bullying, mobbing, gang stalking against targeted individuals. Leave a comment down below. This is Rena Alternative Homesteading. I will have my live stream tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, give or take a couple of minutes. I sometimes have some technical difficulties signing on and staying on like we did last week, so I'm going to have to limit the live stream to under the 2-hour mark, because it seems like once I get to midnight, it's like the bewitching hour. It's like Cinderella. It's like creepy voice cuts me off. So we're going to do that. We're going to work it that way. So up until midnight, and then we're going to have to sign off. I'm going to sign off for now. Leave a comment down below. Please share. And I will talk to you guys later.